Probably this is less than 70, writing equivalent decimal numbers. So this is pretty easy. You have to know that you can attach zeros to the end of a decimal number and it doesn't change the value of that number. So 3/10 is the same thing as 30/100 is the same thing as whatever that is. You can just add zeros till the cows come home and it doesn't change the value of it. In science, it does change the meaning a bit. In math, we don't worry about that so much. But here, I'm thinking, oh, I measured a little bit more accurately than I did here. I measured to the nearest hundredth. Here, I really measured accurately. Boy, I would really trust that number if I was trying to make calculations to go to the moon, more than I would trust this one. So don't worry about that in math, but in science, the number of place values, number of digits you have makes a difference. Okay, so example 1. They say, write 12 6/10 with 3 decimal places. So remember I just said I can add zeros as much as I want to. So 12 6/10 is the same thing as 12 600,000, right? Remember I go to my last place, that's the thousandths place, and then I say the number that's between the decimal and the place value at the end. So 12 600,000. Same thing as 12 6/10. Okay, example 2 wants you to compare 12 6/10 and 12 600,000. So remember I said we're going to go place value by place value from the left to the right. So that's the same. That's the same. That's the same. Well, 0 is the same as 0, right? So I know that once I get here, it's exactly the same. I know that 6/10 is the same thing as 600,000. You know why? What is that number? 100 over 100. Is that the same thing as 1? If I multiply anything times 1, do I get itself? 3 times 1 is 3. 5 times 1 is 5. 6/10 times 1, even though it's in that weird form, is the same thing as 6/10, even though it looks different. Got it? Does that make sense? You know how 1/2 is the same thing as 3/6? Okay, so we're looking at a different form, but it's the same thing. All right, enough of that. Example 3 wants you to use digits and symbols to write 5 cents, both in cent form and dollar form. So here's my words, 5 cents. I put the cent sign afterwards. The dollar sign goes in front, and I know that it's in the ones place, only in the hundreds place, right? So I don't have anything in the ones place. I don't have anything in the tenths place, and I have 5 hundredths of a dollar. If I broke a dollar into pennies, I'd have 5 of them, 5 cents. So there are 100 pennies in a dollar. Example 4 says, why is the sign with bananas wrong? It says bananas are 0.25 cents each. Oh my goodness, that's telling me that a banana is worth 1/4 of a penny. Well, that's not right. I'm sure they want to sell a banana for 1/4, right? So when they write it this way, they're telling me that that's only worth part of a cent, part of 1 cent. I could say 25 cents, and that would be 1/4, right? Or I could say 25 cents or 25 parts of a dollar, right? If I write, oh, I don't know, that. How do you say that? $1.50, right? $1.50. So that's 0 and 25 cents. Okay. Example 5 wants you to add some money. Reuben bought a package of paper for $1.56 and a folder for 75 cents. How much did he spend? Well, I have 2 different forms here. I have the dollar form and the cent form, and I need to put them both in the same form so I can add them. It's probably easier to change that one. So let's do my 1.56. And then how do I do that? That's my hundredths place. That's my tenths place. So there's my decimal. So let's put that way, right? So 75 hundredths, 75 cents, same thing. And now I can add them easily. Remember, I have to add up, I'll line up my decimals when I'm adding them. Okay, so 6 and 5 is 11, carry the 1. 5 and 7 is 12, 13. Carry the 1. Make sure to bring my dollar sign down. So Reuben spent $2.31 altogether. Okay. Place value is important when you're thinking about money. If I didn't have that, and I had that cent sign, it's easy to get confused. So the way it's written right now is wrong, isn't it? I added that and didn't take that away. So now it's correct. It should look like this. Usually if you have money, you might just have $1 sign at the top. You see I put my plus sign in the wrong place. For right now, you guys go ahead and put your dollar sign in front of each number. That way you won't forget. Okay, good luck with this. Remember to keep your decimals lined up when you're adding.